What's going on? Welcome to QVO Games. My name is Juan. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much. This week's video is going to be about the games coming to retail the week of September 3rd. We have a great lineup of games, pick up from last week, and on some games that came out of Gen Con are now coming out to retail. One of these games I think is one of the best, if not the best game that has used an app in a dungeon crawler. I think it's part of the actually not just dungeon crawler, but like in general, it's one of the best. I'll talk about it when I get there. Let's get this video going. Keep in mind, I'm covering the games coming to the US. Next, keep in mind if a game's release date has changed, I'll make sure to update you about that change in its new respective video. Let's get these games showcased. Let's get this going. First game coming up on September 6th is going to be Pirate Tales by Skybound Entertainment. Pirate Tales, site collecting game with cards. You're collecting nuts. You're going to decide if you want to store them or like flip them over or play them out or save them for later to score points. Some of these cards do different things, of course, and there's nuts, which is like the whole Pirate Tales. You're like squirrels who are pirates, essentially. Very straightforward card game. I'm not going to go too deep into it and over-explain. That's really it. You play 3 rounds. Person with the most points wins. Can be a replacement for some of your Point City games or some other games like that that have a lot of like just set collecting in them. Pirate Tales coming out September 6th. Coming up next, coming out September 6th by Smirk and Dagger, is going to be BOOoop. I want to say BOOoop. So there's actually a previous game called BOOoop. It's just basically the same game without the Halloween reskin on it, right? Or the spooky reskin. The other one's called BOOoop, and this one's called BOOoop. Probably sound really weird saying that. I can't wait to watch the rerun on this. It's gonna be so funny. In BOOoop, it's a little bit like, I call it almost like checkers. I call these games sometimes like checkers or chess. They have strategy in the sense of using the space around it and trying to kind of do the best thing possible, the best move possible strategically. Sometimes I feel like these games are preset since they have no luck in them. You can pre-think the first 4, 5, 6 moves and kind of have like a strategy every time. Okay, BOOoop. Cute thing about this game is the cats. You have like so many cute little cats on a bed and they are booping each other, knocking each other off the bed. Your whole goal is to get 3 big cats, not the kitties, in a row. And how do you do that? You do that by lining up 3 small cats to make 1 big cat. And every time you line up 3 small cats, you make a big cat. And your goal is to get 3 big cats in a row. Not that easy though, because every time you set a cat down, you're going to be booping them. You set a cat every time you set a cat down in the grid. There are squares here. You're going to be booping everything around them. So you can knock them off the bed. If you look at the side here, the corner, you can knock them off the bed. You and your opponent are doing the same thing. So that means you can boop their cats, they can boop your cats. And the whole goal is to eventually make 3 cats in a row, 3 large cats in a row. Very straightforward. This game is like super cute. So like all over like TikTok and such and other platforms, it's like blowing up. It's such a cute little game of cats and such and booping each other off the bed. It's basically the same game as the previous one, just with a Halloween reskin. I prefer the Halloween reskin. I think it adds more to it, and I like it. Adds more to like the components, not really like the gameplay. It's exactly the same exact game. Cute game, Smirk and Dagger, coming out September 6th. BOOoop. Coming up next by 25th Century Games is going to be coming out September 6th, called Junk Drawer. A lot of coverage online of this game, so look it up and research it, along with, of course, the overview I'm going to give you, but there's a lot of reviews as well. Junk drawer is like a little bit like a spatial puzzle. You have different items in a junk drawer that do different things, and the things that they do are essentially like sticky notes, and they have a way of putting them down that grants them the best amount score possible. You want to set them down in a very specific manner so you can get the best points possible. And at the end of each round, your whole goal is to basically score each section and earn points, but you're going to try your best to make sure that these items are placed in a very specific way. Like I said, spatial puzzle, I kind of have like that itch with this game where like you're organizing stuff. Like, I don't know why I love organizing. Like, I love having things look really clean and organized. Like my Calyx, I love reorganizing my games. It's a really bad habit because that goes from like a quick organize to like a 4-hour adventure, and there goes half my day. In Junk Drawer, you're basically going to be organizing things in Junk Drawer, and each specific thing has a way to be scored. That's kind of the gist of it, and there's going to be different scoring cards and different ways to score in every game you play to add a little more variability to it. That's kind of the gist of it. It's very straightforward. That's kind of what it is. I am interested. I am curious. I've seen some videos online, and it looks fairly interesting, and on some good feedback coming back from it. Also, like I said, I am a big junkie for like organizing and stuff, so this kind of scratches that like I want to organize things and put things in here. But yeah, That's like, looking at the back here, you have your 4 compartments, and you're going to have your little pieces, your little polyomino pieces you're going to be putting in. I want to like play this game already so bad. I'm not going to go too deep into it. It's a really simple, straightforward game. I'm interested and I'm curious. This is Junk Drawer by 25th Century Games, coming out on September 6th. Coming up next by Pandasaurus is going to be Emerge, coming out September 6th as well. Emerge, the box alone, I mean, it's gorgeous. Look at the art. Like, it just looks amazing. I love how it looks. I actually have a copy that I won in a raffle at Gen Con, and I will have coverage in this game soon. I definitely will do. I'm going to put some stuff up. The game looks gorgeous. In this game, you are playing as a scientist, and there's like islands that are emerging. Different islands are emerging out. And as a scientist, you're going to go in and learn about them. You're going to add, there's going to be colorful plants and animals in each island as you explore the ecosystems and such. Each round, you earn points by rolling your dice and use them to collect research and make discoveries. And you all start with the same research board all the players do. However, throughout the game, you'll be able to modify your own board and changes. I want to show you a little bit. I looked at the components a bit. It just looks so beautiful and pleasing. Look at all these animals and such, different colors. This is one of the games, like I said, that has been on my radar for a while. It's a dice rolling game, so keep that in mind. If you don't like kind of dice placement or dice rolling, I would not recommend you checking this out if you don't like that stuff. However, it looks beautiful. The game is played over 8 rounds, and you score points based on how flourished and like biodiverse your islands are. And if you're achieving different research objectives based on some cards, and when those cards, of course, objectives change, like adds a little bit of variability to the game as you play. The game looks amazing. It looks gorgeous, I guess. It doesn't play. I don't know how it plays yet, but I'm hoping to check it out soon because like I said, I have a copy and I have it unboxed and everything ready to go. Just gotta learn the rules. This is Emerge, coming out September 6th by Pandasaurus Games. Coming up next by Fantasy Flight Games, coming out on September 8th, is going to be the Betrayer's War expansion for Descent Legends of the Dark. This is the game I was talking about at the beginning. By the way, very hefty price tag, $160. That's a lot. But I will admit, this is probably one of the best dungeon crawlers with an app in it. We're using an app to kind of like help you do like the narrating and activating specific events that happen. I just think with dungeon crawlers, that kind of incorporation of something like that is so big because one of the biggest things with those big old dungeon crawling games is the setting up, reading every little story thing that comes up. Keeping in mind, like, for example, Gloomhaven, there's like, oh, a status effect that affects this. Oh, remember that status effect, don't forget that. Oh, keep in mind, there's also enemies coming from this section. There's so much to remember that I feel an app kind of makes that so much easier. And I think Descent really got that formula down on how to properly do it. I love that game. I really think it's a great it's a great dungeon crawling game, and it uses the app so well. It does such a great job using it. Definitely one of the ones to take note of. I could have sworn I had pictures here, so give me a few seconds to kind of bring that up. While that brings up, that's going to go over... Actually, let's go over a couple more things here. Here it is. Awesome stuff. In this game, it comes with like a bunch of... I think this is why the price is so heavy. This game comes with a lot of miniatures and a lot of terrain to build. Example here. Literally, I mean, you have to build this out. This is kind of like the largest part of setup, is that you have to build. And after you build it, you can keep it in the box. Like, the box is humongous. You can, like, leave it all in the box, which is really cool and great because you don't even, like, get to put it. Like, there's no way to put it, which is kind of sad. In this game, everything goes back in the box. That's why it's so huge. It's a big box. Comes with terrains, cool miniatures. All your heroes have really cool miniatures. And as well as different ways to kind of upgrade your character. Like, you don't have to go a specific direction. You can actually upgrade in different pathways, essentially. Lots of cool miniatures. This is a picture of the app a little bit. It tells you, like, you just put in, like, oh, I'm attacking X person and doing X amount of damage. Well, you don't say how much damage, but you attack X person and you do the amount of damage that's indicated by the equipment or the item you used. It's definitely, like I said, the app is so well done, and I don't think it takes away a lot from the board game. It just supplements, and I think it helps a lot. You're not playing the game on the... Actually, you know what? It's almost like I can't really say you're not playing the game on the app because you're using the app a lot, but it supplements so well because like the board game's in front of you and you're still moving everything, but it kind of tracks everything for you. You don't have to worry about all the upkeep, which is one of my biggest pet peeves. But along with that, if you don't like app-based games and you like that upkeep, I guess that's definitely something to consider because it definitely takes away a lot of the upkeep, which is like I guess people consider like, oh, it takes away from the game. I personally do not like the upkeep. I love dungeon crawlers. I love adventure story games. I do not like the upkeep. This game does that. That app I think is the app with the board game. They do so well. I thought it was very well done. The game is fun, of course, and it has a really fun story, some really cool directions your character takes. It's awesome stuff. This is going to be an expansion to it. It's going to be like Act 2, which I have Act 1. I will eventually pick up Act 2, but that's a really hefty price tag, so I got to wait. Check it out. This is going to be an expansion for it. It's not a standalone. Keep that in mind. You do need the base game. So it's going to be an expansion, but check out the base game and then look into the expansion. This is going to be Descent, Legends of the Dark, The Betrayers of War expansion coming out on September 8th. Coming up next by AEG and Flat Out Games is going to be Point City, coming out September 8th. This game was at Gen Con. You could have bought a copy at Gen Con, and Point City is basically, it's a play on to like the previous game called Point Salad. The games play pretty different. They're different how they play. In the game, you're going to have, there's a lot of coverage, by the way. So many people cover this game. In this game, you're going to have a market of resources, and the resources are going to be on the side of the box here, on the right side of the box here. And these resources are going to be, you're going to collect them to build buildings. And when you build a building, they either provide you points or they provide you some kind of benefit. And those benefits can be having these resources already handy. So for example, if I build an electricity building of some sort, then you'll always have at least one electricity to build the next one. It's kind of like Splendor meets Point City. Point Salad is kind of like how I thought about it too. Like you kind of mash the two together. You're going to be, and when you get those resources, you build out your engine, I guess, you're gonna have these cards that you can just start building different buildings, and they're gonna have points. Along with those points, there's also little tokens that kind of mix it up a little bit. And I'm going to open the rulebook to show you what these tokens look like. I want to show you in these tokens here. They're going to look like so. Civic tokens. Those civic tokens give you points per like green energy you have or green ecology resource you have. That's different ways to kind of multiply your score by like 10 depending on what strategy you go with. Really, I like it more than Point Salad, honestly. For me, this game actually replaces Point Salad for me. I prefer to play Point City over Point Salad now after playing it, and that's just kind of my opinion. Point Salad is simpler and easier, I believe. Not to say that Point City isn't any more complex. It's a pretty easy game to just pick up and play. Learning in like 5-10 minutes and play right away. It's pretty straightforward. But I prefer Point City. I think it adds just a little bit more for me to like kind of work with, a little more meat to the game, which I appreciate. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you played Point Salad, play Point City, come back and let me know which one you like more. I would love to hear it. Point City by AEG and Flat Out Games coming out September 8th. Coming up next, also coming out September 8th by AEG and Flat Out Games, is going to be Deep Dive. Deep Dive is another game that I have here, and I played it a couple times. It was fun. I actually thought it was it's fun. It's a fun game. Very simple, but it's fun. You're going to be flipping over ocean tiles, right? So you're going to have I'm going to show you by the rulebook as well. Couldn't find any good pictures anywhere, so I'm going to be showing you a lot. You're going to have a setup here on the right-hand side, if you look at the rulebook here. In this setup, you have different levels, like in depths, basically. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5 is the deepest, of course. You're going to have your little penguins, and the penguins are you're going to flip over a tile, step 1. You're going to choose, do I like that item? Do I want something else? Okay, cool. I don't like it. I want to move on. Awesome. Number 2. Do I like that item? Do I not? You're going to push your luck, and you're going to keep going as far as you want to. Your goal is to pick up fish, and you're going to be 3 different colored fish, and you're going to try to make sets out of those to try to get points. In the process, though, there's also going to be sharks. So if you pull a shark at level 2, that is your penguin is now on that shark. You cannot go any further. You're done going. So you just don't know what tile is going to be what. In the process of that, and you're going to be picking up also rocks, and rocks let you kind of skip depths. However, keep in mind, if you flip over a shark, your penguin's kind of like stuck there, and that's what it is. Push your luck style game, It's cool. It's fun. I have a review coming out soon, actually, before you buy Deep Dive. Really interesting. It's just a fun little simple game. It's interesting gameplay. Nothing I would think is blows me out of the water, I guess, in terms of like complex or like even like nothing unique. But cool game. This is gonna be this is gonna be Deep Dive by AEG and Flat Out Games, and it's going to be coming out September 8th. We are at the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for making it this far. The fact that you're listening to me here out in Vegas, this random dude who just loves talking about board games and wants to talk about more about board games and play a lot more board games. Thank you. I love to share my passion with you guys, and the fact that you guys are watching the video and just making it all the way through, that means a lot. Helps the algorithm a lot. If you like what we're doing here, if you don't mind dropping a like, or you're going to subscribe or comment what game you're picking up this week, that would be awesome. I would appreciate it. Thank you for watching the video, and have a good one.